This is one perspective of the scene, and this is another, and they barely look like they were taken in the same place, and that's what I'm talking about with diversity and variety. Good afternoon, fellow explorers. My name is Dave Katz, and I'm one of the virtual expedition photo instructors here in my home in the Finger Lakes region of New York. And today I wanted to introduce you to the concept of working the scene. One important element that can aid your storytelling is to have a diversity and variety of images when you go to put together your story. My first tip of working the scene is to try new angles and new perspectives. This can mean moving your camera up high or down low. It could also mean pointing down on subjects or pointing up at them. My second tip is not to be afraid to use people or props to help tell your story. My third tip is to intentionally change lenses. And this is a way of sort of forcing yourself into thinking in a different way. Perhaps you were originally shooting a bunch of wildlife and you had a long lens on. Well, now it's time to change to a wide angle lens and think more about the landscapes and vice versa. And my last tip is to intentionally change the camera settings on your camera. So potentially you were shooting with a large aperture. Well, now it's time to shoot with a small aperture. Maybe you're shooting with a fast shutter speed. Now it's time to shoot with a slow shutter speed. And intentionally changing the settings again will force you to think in a different way and potentially produce a different style of images, which will help add to your overall diversity. Overall, I think that if you keep this concept of working the scene with you, you'll find that there's always an interesting image that can be made from every scene to help you tell an interesting story. Thanks for following along, everybody, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are.